growing up as a photographer shooting surfing in California, you know, who wouldn't have known who Tom Curren is? So I always knew Tom, you know, but then because he kind of became this elusive, you know, kind of guy that moved to France and, you know, he was off the radar. I mean, I don't think anybody got to see him free surf much. There was very limited film of Tom free surfing. The Tom Curren connection with making the first search film was almost like paved in just knowing each other since young. Now, it wasn't something like the thing about probably that first movie and all the movies we made, they just occurred. We kind of made these movies on a lot of investment of time. The real journey was to go to Africa, and that really the whole Africa idea, I think, was, you know, really brainchild by Derek Hind, because he had this affection with JBay. He knew what a phenomenal point wave it was. He knew that Tom was the master of the right-hand point. We went there for, I mean, over a month. We stayed in Africa. So, you know, there was one of those swells radared. We got there, I think, a couple days before. Tom was flying in, like, on the moment. We all knew that Tom was coming. And so we were like, you know, it was down there like, get your cameras greased and make sure they're working because the guy's gonna arrive and the waves are pumping. Like, it was, you know, the day before was good, but it wasn't as good as like the afternoon he showed up. We rolled on a, somebody just surfing to make sure it actually could shoot a surfing wave. Like some goofy footer dropped in and just did a bottom turn and kicked out, and we rolled on that, said, okay, it's rolling. And it was the next wave was Tom's first wave, a JBay paddling out. Paddled out, took off on his first wave, and rode it flawlessly on a board he'd never ridden. It takes a certain person surfing to flawlessly ride that wave. Tom's surfing is so flawless with his style that all that speed, power, flow, you know, his bottom turn, I mean, all that stuff was just like through the roof on one ride, first day he's ever surfed JBay. I don't think at the time that I quite felt like that was a turning point in surfing because of not being able to watch it back. So I mean, all those kind of moments that we captured without the digital age and, you know, the simple age of recording, you know, by hitting a red button, it's like a miracle that the moments that mattered actually got caught on the 2 or 3 minutes of movie film per roll. No one had ever seen a display of Tom Curren's free surfing until that turning point of the search and 5 years of exploration.
Because you move me, baby, don't you prove me Because you move me, baby, don't you prove me wrong this time, wrong this time, wrong this time. Because you move me, baby, don't you prove me wrong this time, wrong this time, wrong this time. Because you sometimes you just feel like you don't belong. If you did before, not anymore, but nothing's wrong. It's just how life moves on. I found my way back again, but then it might be all gone. Another story you can put into a song. Oh, try to put the road still on, just rolling through the motions. Sometimes you just feel like you don't belong. If you did before, not anymore, but nothing's wrong. It's just how life moves on. I found my way back again, but then it might be all gone. Another story you can put into a song. Oh, try to put the road still on, just rolling through the motions. I'm staying strong, I'm staying strong, staying strong, just rolling through the motions.
Lekker Dirk!
Yes!
Woo! Wat een beslag met zwaar komen. Ik kan direct stoom van die ding op. Kijk, die stoom is op.
Dit arm. Die rotste dag van zijn leven.
My spirit's away. Don't feel the same.
Waar nou nog?
Watermaster! Woehoe!
But somehow
Lekker
they
Dirk!
disappear.
Yes!
'Cause all that I touched and no more
Manne, man.
matters. But finally I can breathe. Open my eyes and see all of the beauty in front of me, giving back all the energy that I never felt before. Beyond the lights of society that were killing me quietly, now I found myself a home out on my own, out on my own, out on my own, out on my own, out on my
Thumbs up! Oh my god, nou heeft hij weer goed gevat.
Ja, hij was hier en ik had niet. Kom maar hoor.
Wat een beslag met zwaar komen dan. Ik kan direct stoom van die ding op. Kijk, die stoom is op.
Laat ze maar gaan nou.
Ja!
Zwartpijl.
Wat nou, mevrouw?
July 9, 1896.
You shall not crucify mankind upon a cross of gold.
In Chicago, William Jennings Bryan delivers his Cross of Gold speech at the Democratic National Convention. The speech clinches the Democratic presidential nomination for Bryan, but he loses to Republican William McKinley in the fall. 1947. Britain's Princess Elizabeth is engaged to Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten. The future Queen Elizabeth II marries the future Prince Philip months later. 1997. Boxer Mike Tyson is banned from the ring and fined $3 million. That's his penalty for biting Evander Holyfield's ear during their WBA championship fight in Las Vegas. 1956.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Tom Hanks, who won the Oscar for Best Actor in back-to-back years, is born in Concord, California. Among his roles, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Saving Private Ryan, and the Toy Story movies. And 2002.
Mr. Tibbs! Well, Mr. Wood, take Mr. Tibbs! Take him down to the depot, and I mean boy like now!
Rod Steiger, another Oscar-winning actor, dies in Los Angeles. Steiger, whose roles included On the Waterfront and In the Heat of the Night, was 77. Today in history, July 9th. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.